When it comes to washing a brush, if you can set it in water overnight in the bucket that you're working out of, it's going to help you to clean the brush a bit quicker is all. But it's not absolutely mandatory. And when you do put your brush into the water, make sure that it's standing straight up. If it's on the side, the next morning you're going to find it with a nice bend in it, and that's not what you want. To wash your brush correctly, all you need is a wire brush. It's all you need. You don't need a comb. You don't need to pre-soak your brushes in oil or anything like that. So let me show you how I clean a brush. We do what's called a 3-bucket wash. Sometimes you'll have to do it more than 3 times. Other times you'll only have to do it once or twice. It depends on how long you've been using that brush for the day. So in the first bucket, what you're trying to do is you're slamming that brush down and hitting the bottom. And you can be pretty brutal with this. This is a good brush. It won't do it any harm. You take your brush out, you set it down with the ferrule just past the edge of the paint bucket there, and you take your wire brush, you can see the paint there, and you put some weight on that brush so you've got some resistance. It won't go anywhere. You put quite a bit of strength in that and run it through as many times as necessary, and you'll see that paint start to come out of there. That dried paint on the bristle starts to come off, and you do both sides. You can see all that. And you do the edges, both edges. And that's about all you need for the wire brush. Slam the brush down at the bottom. You can be pretty brutal with that. You bring it out, turn it upside down, grab the bristles with your hand, and as you squeeze, you also want to bend it. And you're looking right here for any residues of paint. And I see just a tiniest little bit. So I go to the next can of water, same thing. That brush is already super clean. So I won't have to go with a third wash. Sometimes you'll have a brush you've been using all day and it's just caked with paint. It's the same exact process, but you'll have to probably put a little more effort, and you might have 3 or 4 buckets to wash. From this point, you want to get a lot of this excess water out, and you tap your brush. You don't have to bang it really hard, just a lot of little taps, but whatever you do, don't tap around the very top edge of your ferrule. And all I do is I use the side of my shoe, and I just give it a tap. You can see the water coming out. So after you've tapped all your water out, just take a dry rag. You give it a bit of a, you try and dry it out a little bit better. And this is the reason you don't throw away those jackets. Most good brushes come with what they call jackets. And it just keeps them nice and safe. If you've got those crooked bristles, this will most of the time straighten it out. And that's it, ready for the next job.